Boring content, that, mate.
Tom, if you want to hear from
Really motivated, excited, and peaceful. I can do both. Like I can fighting like a dog at the very first round, but I can do also 5 rounds. Like so, I'm not gonna explain my tactic.
I think he's just got a little bit of a different style to me. He systematically breaks his opponents down a little bit more than I do.
A recent altercation between Ciryl Gane and Tom Aspinall is resurfacing, and Gane isn't holding back anymore. His latest comments reveal the tension that has been building for years. As discussion around the heavyweight picture continues, Alexander Volkanovski recently spoke about Tom Aspinall and how fans still see him as the real champion. He said, "The fight between Jon Jones and Aspinall was something everyone wanted to see." Volkanovski explained that even though the fight didn't happen, Aspinall has done enough to earn that respect. Then he shared his clear thoughts on it.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, it's just such a tricky one. I guess a lot of people looked at Aspinall sort of as a champion as well. Obviously, we were really hoping that the Jon Jones and Aspinall fight was going to happen. Whether they still somehow make that happen further down the track, we will see. But yeah, this is definitely a defense, and it feels like a defense. Like I said, I've always looked at Aspinall, who was obviously going to fight the top guys until Jon Jones and him face. So
Volkanovski went on to say that Aspinall has earned his place at the top, and he mentioned that an interim belt still means you're keeping the division alive while others are out. He praised Aspinall's attitude and skills, calling him one of the toughest heavyweights today. Volkanovski ended by saying that Jon Jones versus Aspinall would have been a special fight to watch.
I've always looked at him as a champion anyway. That's the whole point of interim as well. You know, if someone's injured or someone's out, they're looking after the division, so I think that's fair. And you know, the circumstance I was under, I think it's fair to say that he was pretty much the champion as well. So I'll leave it at that. You know what I mean? I don't want to be too controversial with that. But yeah, again, Tom Aspinall, impressive. You know, I think that's why we all wanted to see that fight, because if Jon Jones was able to do it against a legit heavyweight like Tom Aspinall, explosive, big, heavyweight like that, that would have been very impressive, because Tom Aspinall's no joke.
Meanwhile, when asked about dealing with pressure ahead of the fight, Ciryl Gane gave a calm and confident response. He explained that pressure exists for both fighters, but how you handle it makes the difference. Gane shared that he feels prepared in every way, both mentally and physically, as well as tactically. His focus isn't on the stress of the moment, but on enjoying the challenge that lies ahead.
I think it's not about who have the biggest pressure on his head, on the shoulder. I think it's more how, because I got the pressure also. Like, I got the pressure also. This is a fight, and for me, and
who handle all the pressure? C'est pas who handle all the pressure. C'est que tu vois.
Ça veut dire quoi?
C'est qui gère plus la pression.
Yeah, and I don't know. I can tell for myself. And today, I'm really comfortable. I'm really happy, excited. I can't wait for this fight. My mindset is on point. Physically also. Tactically also, so maybe this is helped me also to be good on my mind. But yeah, I'm happy.
Gane also opened up about the slower pace of his career over the last few years, and he said it wasn't easy waiting for the right fight, but he stayed focused and kept training. Gane shared that he trusted the UFC team and his coaches during that time, and even without constant action, he made sure to stay ready and prepared for any opportunity.
I got nothing special to say about that, unfortunately. When you are a little bit under like I was, you must waiting to train yourself and just waiting and trust the process. Believe on the staff of the UFC. We are here every time, like we say with the coach, like every month we say, hey, we are here, we are all ready to go in the cage. Like we keep training, we are here. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, this last 2-3 years, he was a little bit slow. That's true.
Following Ciryl Gane's comments about staying patient and ready, Dricus du Plessis shared his view on the long wait before Tom Aspinall's next fight. He said, "It almost feels unreal that the matchup is finally happening after such a long break." Dricus explained that none of this delay was Aspinall's fault, and that his rise in the division proves why the hype around him is real.
As the fight, I'm just so happy that it's actually going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, fingers crossed, but I mean, if you when this fight was in the making, it's almost, we saw Aspinall take a break now for what, maybe almost 2 years, I think. And it almost feels unreal that he's actually going to fight. And it's not his fault, of course. Aspinall, it's not his fault that he didn't fight. I mean, they were waiting for that big John Jones fight, which is obviously not going to happen. But, he's where he is for a very good reason. All the hype is real when it comes to Aspinall.
Continuing from there, Drake has talked about why he rates Aspinall so highly compared to other heavyweights. He mentioned that Tom's mix of striking, grappling, and footwork makes him different from anyone else in the division. While he gave credit to Gane's skills, Drake believes Aspinall's hunger and sharpness give him edge right now. He ended by saying both fighters are world class, but he favors Aspinall to win.
I just don't think there's a heavyweight in the world right now that can even compete with him. On the feet, on the grappling side of things. Wrestling-wise, I mean, I don't, at heavyweight, he has when it comes to wrestling, he does what he needs to, but when it gets to the ground, he's really skillful. And then, of course, both of them moving like middleweights when it comes to the feet. They are so light on the feet, but I just think Aspinall has a bit more when it comes to pulling that trigger. We've seen Ciryl Gane sometimes almost just let the fight slip away from him, especially when it goes into the further rounds. But then again, we've never seen Tom Aspinall go that far. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm going Aspinall on this one. I think he's hungry. I think he's ready. He looks phenomenal in the training footage that I saw. Obviously, Ciryl Gane is a specimen. I mean, just the way he's built, he's massive, and once again, anything can happen, it's heavyweights.
Moving on, Tom Aspinall later spoke about how his time away from fighting actually helped him grow. Instead of being in a full fight camp, he focused on improving his overall skill set without the pressure of preparing for a specific opponent. Tom explained that this period allowed him to sharpen different areas of his game, making him feel more confident and ready to show real progress on fight night.
I just got a chance to improve my skill set, really. That's the biggest advantage, I guess, is that I'm not actually training in a camp where I've got, because essentially a camp is getting your body ready to go 5 rounds, really. Whereas if you're not in a camp, you can just train to improve your skills. And I've definitely done a lot of that in the last kind of year plus. So I'm excited about that. I feel like I've improved a lot in the time away, and excited to show everybody.
Aspinall talked about his opponent and how their styles are different. He said he hasn't thought too much about it, but noticed his opponent breaks fighters down more carefully and systematically. Tom explained that he focuses on his own game instead of guessing what the other fighter will do. His approach shows he stays calm, prepared, and ready without overthinking the matchup.
I don't know. It's not something I've really thought about, to be honest. I think he's just got a little bit of a different style to me. He systematically breaks his opponents down a little bit more than I do. So I don't know. I have no idea. I guess you'll have to ask him.
Building on the discussion about fighter styles and preparation, Michael Bisping shared his take on the big fight everyone is talking about. He focused on Tom Aspinall's unique strengths, explaining why he stands out in the heavyweight division. From his size and explosiveness to his agility and skill set, Bisping highlighted what makes Aspinall a serious threat and why fans are so excited to see him in action.
Right, this is the one that we all want to talk about, the big fight, the main event, the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. And I got a lot to say about this. So obviously, Tom Aspinall is a freak of nature. He's gigantic for the weight division. He's agile, he's quick, he's fast, he's explosive, he's well-rounded, all that stuff. You've heard me talk about him and glaze him many, many times. Oil him up, whatever you kids say these days.
Continuing his breakdown, Bisping shifted focus to Ciryl Gane, highlighting why this fight is so compelling. He explained that while Tom Aspinall is a powerhouse, Gane brings similar athleticism and movement, making the matchup evenly matched in speed and skill. Bisping also noted that Gane has learned from past losses and is likely prepared a smart game plan, setting up an intriguing clash between 2 elite heavyweights.
But he's going up against Ciryl Gane, and this is where it gets interesting because Ciryl Gane can match him for all those athletic attributes. He is just as fast. He's probably lighter on the feet. He's probably a better kickboxer, probably a little more graceful, probably a little bit more fluent on the feet. Of course, this isn't a kickboxing fight though. It is a mixed martial arts contest, and you know damn well that Ciryl Gane knows this, and he's learned from the lessons from losing to John Jones. He lost to Francis Ngannou by getting out wrestled. He lost to John Jones by getting taken down and choked out. And don't tell me that he hasn't worked on this element of his game. Of course he has. Cyryl's a smart man, and he's going to come up with a game plan. What's the game plan going to look like? It's going to be a lot of movement. It's going to be dancing around the octagon and avoiding the grappling at all costs. Staying light on the feet, dancing around, moving, sticking, pump a jab, move around, throw a kick, just doing whatever he can to avoid Tom.
Bisping continued analyzing the matchup, focusing on how both fighters' strategies will play out inside the cage. He explained that Ciryl Gane would have a clear game plan, forcing Tom Aspinall to react and match his speed while cutting off the cage. Bisping highlighted the challenges Tom will face, including closing the distance and maintaining strength at heavyweight, setting up the key question of who can control the fight.
Of course Cyryl's going to have a game plan. Of course he's going to use the footwork, and Tom is going to have to catch him. He's going to have to be able to match the speed. He's going to have to be able to cut off the cage. He's going to have to be able to shoot extra quick, close the distance, get on the inside. And the thing is, at heavyweight as well, he's not necessarily starving himself. When a lot of fighters go down to a weight class, when I'm trying to cut down to 185, which would take a bloody lifetime at this point. But when you're trying to do that, you go into such a calorie deficit that you're losing muscle mass, okay? Tom Aspinall won't be doing that. He will be strong, he will be lean, he will be fast, he will be quick, and we know he's got the technique. Can he catch Ciryl Gane? Yes, of course he can. Can he take him down? 100%. But the big question is, if Tom catches him, if he takes him down, can Ciryl get back to his feet? There's a good possibility.
Following his earlier comments on preparation and mindset, Ciryl Gane shared a technical insight from training, explaining how hand placement affects control during a fight. He pointed out that trying to force positions on an opponent doesn't work and can actually give them an advantage. Gane's focus on precision and mechanics highlights how even small details in training can make a big difference in the cage.
Yeah, like sizing you up, you know.
No, this is a stupid thing. This is so. If you want to reach my side, I must to put my hand on his shoulder. If you want to have his wrench, you just need to put his hand on the wall, and he's gonna have his wrench. Why you don't? Why you need to push his hand on my shoulder? Nothing. He's gonna learn his wrench, not mine.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah. So no, it's okay if you want.
Gane talked about the mental side of his fight with Tom Aspinall. He said that if Tom doesn't fully respect him, it could affect the fight. Gane thinks that might give him a small advantage. He stayed focused but added that no one will know what happens until they meet in the cage this Saturday, keeping his mindset calm and ready.
Maybe because I think Tom disrespect him a little bit. So maybe he's gonna be on my side. Maybe, yeah. But yes, he retired. Now he's Houchin, and we will see this Saturday.
Additionally, Din Thomas and Anthony Smith talked about how different outcomes could affect Tom Aspinall's reputation. They said that even if he wins, struggling in the fight or looking weak could make fans and fighters question him. They explained that getting caught early is okay as long as he bounces back, or being beaten up or barely winning could damage his legacy and how people see him in the division.
What happens to Aspinall's legacy, or at least the spot that he's in right now? Not even if he loses. What if they fight to a split decision and he struggles really badly at times with Ciryl Gane?
That's gonna be bad. That's not. He's almost better losing.
By getting caught.
Yeah. 100%. He's better getting caught. Like, the worst case scenario is that, like, he gets beat up, like, for 5 rounds. He doesn't look great.
Like, finished in the 4th or something. Like, after losing the first 3.
Missing, like, taking bad shots. Gets just outworked. Next case scenario is, like, he wins a split decision.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's better off just winning and looking good and then getting caught early, like, because he can bounce back from that. Like, he can be, hey man, I just got caught.
Right.
They also talked about the mental side of fighting. Din and Anthony said Aspinall needs to focus fully on Ciryl Gane instead of thinking about past or future fights like John Jones. They compared it to fighters who lost focus before and went on losing streaks. Staying fully focused on his opponent in front of him is key for Aspinall to protect his reputation and maintain his place at the top.
But if he gets beat up or wins a split decision, we start looking at Tom like, I don't know, man, maybe he's not that good.
Maybe you weren't it.
Yeah, maybe we had it wrong. We thought we had the great white hope. We don't got it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's worst case scenario. If he struggles with him real bad and then wins.
That's not going to be a good look. Now
then
we're not
John
looking
never
at him for
comes
the White
back.
House. Oh, because if that happens, John is going to just see.
Okay, so there's got to be something to. He started training camp 3 times for John. Like, how do you put that away and focus on Ciryl? Because he's still getting the John Jones questions. They're talking about the White House. Like, we seen this happen one time, and his name was Dominic Reyes. When Dominic Reyes was in his own mind was the uncrowned champion, and he goes into these couple fights like, I beat John Jones. Anybody said I'm the real champion of this division, and then he's not super focused. His eyes not on the person in front of him. He's thinking about something else, and then he goes on a long losing streak. Now, to his credit, he's been able to turn it around. He's looked really good recently until his last fight, which is Olberg is a special dude too. So he was able to turn it around for a while though. But I feel like that's kind of the situation we're in right now. Like, I wonder how really focused on Gane Aspinall is.
After talking about strategies and fighter skills, the MMA guru shared how excited and nervous he is about the Aspinall vs. Gane fight. To explain how intense he expects it to be, he described a dream he had about the fight. The dream showed early exchanges, low kicks, and key moments, giving a sense of how fast and unpredictable the match could be.
Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. I'm worried. This will truly shatter me as a person. This is one of them. Okay? I will cry on stream. I will cry in the middle of making a video about John Jones's tweets if Ciryl Gane is to somehow beat Tom. I had a dream. And this isn't a Martin Luther King thing. I genuinely had a dream last night that Tom Aspinall beat Ciryl Gane, but he got hit with a spinning elbow flush and got wobbled. I'm being serious. I dreamt out the entire fight sequence. It was a 3-minute fight. I'm going to tell you the dream, just in case. It was a 3-minute fight. Both guys land low kicks early. Gane's teeping Aspinall to the stomach a lot early on in the fight. Aspinall stings him with a shot running in.
Guru then described the rest of his dream, showing how quickly the fight could change. He explained how both fighters reacted, used counters, and traded strikes, including clinches and crown punches. His story helps fans imagine the action and intensity in the cage. This gives a clear picture of how fast-paced and technical the fight could be, making it exciting and unpredictable.
Gane notices it. Next time Aspinall comes blitzing in about 30 seconds later, Gane stings him with a spinning elbow as he comes in. Aspinall eats it but gets wobbled backwards. Gane starts pressing in. Aspinall shoots in, gets the clinch, pushes him up against the cage, punches him to the head a couple of times, stays in the clinch. Gane separates, Aspinall separates, they're back at range. Then Aspinall shot a takedown on Gane, and Gane got back up. Okay? This is all I'm telling you, and then we'll get into the prediction. And then Gane starts coming towards Aspinall thinking he's got it figured out, and Aspinall stings him with a counter hook as Gane gets a bit aggressive for once. Aspinall stings him with a counter hook. Another one as he goes down, starts hammer fisting his face on the ground. I was screaming in a dream, "Stop it, Herb, stop it!" And then they stop the fight. Tom Aspinall's the world champion.
After all the fight predictions and dream breakdowns, MVP gave his view on Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. He said Tom reminds him of fighters like John Jones, dominating his division with skill and power. MVP pointed out that Tom is strong, fast, and good on the ground, while Gane is skilled too, but doesn't have the same speed or knockout power as Aspinall. He said, Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. I'm sorry, for me, I'm just a fan of Ciryl as well. I just feel like Tom Aspinall is the next generation of the same thing we saw like John Jones doing in terms of the dominant fashion that he took over his division. Further, he also said, I feel like the same thing is going to happen with Tom Aspinall. That style at heavyweight is unseen. Ciryl Gane has a little bit of a bounce in him as well. Finally, he added, I just don't think he's got the same snap and power that Tom Aspinall has, as well as the ground game. Although, you probably won't see it in this fight. I feel like you could get a knockout in this. With all the insights from fighters, analysts, and even dream predictions, one thing is clear. The Aspinall vs. Gane clash is shaping up to be one of the most explosive heavyweight bouts in recent history. Both men bring world-class skills, athleticism, and strategy, making this fight unpredictable from the first strike to the last. So, fans should expect high-paced action, mental toughness, and possibly a fight-defining knockout moment. Who do you think will come out on top? Tom Aspinall or Ciryl Gane? Drop your predictions in the comments below and tell us why.